This is Archetypal Trader. Today I have Ricky Berta in the Sunshine Coast. How are you today, Rick?
I'm fantastic. How are you? I already know how you are. I already asked you that before.
Yeah, mate. Going pretty well over here. Can't complain. The market, how's it been going for you?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Not too bad. A bit up and down. I've been trying my best to be patient. I've done well in some trades. I've been chopped a little bit, trying to get in on Matic a little bit earlier than probably should be. I'm doing my best to be patient. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, man. It's a bit of a sideways market, isn't it? I'll jump straight into screen share here. Can you see my screen all right?
Yeah, gotcha, mate.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, Matic's been a bit funny, hasn't it? We'll jump into old Matic throughout the presentation this morning. But yeah, man, I've pulled up the weekly on Bitcoin here, and I've just thrown the 38.2 and 50% retrace and 61.8 on the chart, as you can see, and yeah, we're consolidating underneath the Kijun on the weekly and at the 50% retracement. Intra-week inside bar so far, but just sideways, hasn't it? It's been pretty sideways.
Yeah, I've just got the daily up here in Bitcoin. I'll change it to the weekly myself. It's just that ranging market where we're at. Obviously, when we get onto the daily, we'll see that inside bar that was printed this morning, but what can we tell out of the weekly? We've got a lot of support, at that 34K on a weekly standpoint. And it's obviously a bit lower than that on the daily, but...
just trying to dig in and look at the volume and stuff. The volume is fairly... Yeah, it's been fairly low last week and stuff, but yeah, there's nothing really that conclusive. We're at the 50% retrace since the covered bottom, and RSI is sort of basing out at 40 there, but I'll jump over to the daily and we can get to the nitty gritty there. So Ikamoko, it's been quite interesting. I'll take off Tinkinson, and we've just been at equilibrium, haven't we, with this Kijun? I know I've drawn in and showed you outside of the video and that. This fractal area that I think is pretty interesting and very important. There's obviously that 315 degrees or 31.5K level approximately there. And we haven't broken this fractal, which is, it has to be somewhat, maybe bullish isn't the word, but it's fairly supportive. We really should have lost this level, and the market came down twice, and you can see these wicks down, but we didn't get a full candle body close below this fractal, which definitely gives me some pause on this move down. And then there's 1-2 attempts, wicks below, we don't break it, and then we've had these two backfill events there as well.
Yeah, just draw a trend line on the first high low from the top, mate, and we could be seeing a W on the other side of the trend line too, I noticed this morning. So if you just zoom out a little bit, and go from the very top to the first red bar down at the top, or go to the next red bar from there.
This one?
Yep, go to that. That's fine. Something like that. Well, actually, no. From where you are now, start at where you are there now. If you start at where you are.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, even the next one.
Yep.
If you draw a trend line down, you'll notice that it's quite to that sort of area, and see how now it was quite respective there, and now we're sort of on that side. I don't know, man. I thought maybe that we had a W playing a bit earlier there. But we could be seeing a W here, and it may want to, if it does come up above that Kijun, it may want to go from there. Can you see that W? I don't know, maybe I'm drawing that out.
No, it's definitely there.
see, but it's another double bottom. So.
Yeah, I think I had a trend line like this at one stage, but it's good that you brought that up because, like we sort of had this mini breakout here and then we got rejected again. And then, there's another W coming in. So, like, if we break this fractal, I think, it's 3650 approximately, say. So I'll zoom in a bit. Yeah, W on other sides of trend lines is fairly powerful. And we've got a minor TK cross. It's obviously weak, bullish TK cross because we're underneath the Kumo, but
as in maybe coming up.
Yeah, like we could get a TK cross, but it's like for a scalp, there could be an edge-to-edge trade, like in the Kumo to the CQ span B. Like we don't really know what's going to take place here. After it was actually it was a natal sun opposition on Bitcoin on the 3rd of July. Maybe I can bring that in at the end, but it's also like that sun opposition is the long weekend, like Independence Day, it lands on. So that's this really low volume for that weekend. But yeah, man, like we could have, realistically, we'd be breaking 1, 2, 3 fractals if we can close on the daily just above that level, which is be quite a situation, wouldn't it? You would think that we're going to get some sort of bounce or relief rally from there.
Yeah. Well, man, at the end of the day, we are still in like a short signal hasn't been invalidated yet on
you're right.
Bitcoin. With Ichimoku, purely Ichimoku has it on a daily perspective.
Absolutely.
So until that's invalidated, I guess any caution must be
adhered
where we're at in a lot of ways.
Yeah, this is a funny part about trading, right? Because we've sort of had, I think we're on day 48 since that impulse move down. We did get a lower low here, but I'm ignoring that for now. But yeah, we're at day 49, so you can see the Kumo starting to collapse in on itself too. If I bring in CQ span B and A, like that's really starting to close too, right? So
yeah,
you sort of got to give pause. This 31,500 levels, it's massive. Hey? Like if we get a daily candle close from there, you would think that the continuation to the downside would accelerate.
Yeah, for sure. I think I had a 1, 2, 3 continuation pattern that was saying within this, this range here, it's either, we're either looking at 24K or 40K, which isn't much help at the moment, but that's sort of where we're at,
Yeah.
But it is fantastic that we've got this inside bar for at least maybe short-term trend.
Yeah, that's definitely worth highlighting there. People who don't know what an inside bar is, that's this candle having a lower high and a higher low than this previous candle. So whichever way that candle resolves is bullish. So like a daily candle close going through this high, full candle body close going through that high is somewhat of a technical buy signal. So yeah, man, it's always exciting, the market, isn't it? It's it can get exciting, it can get frustrating, but yeah, you're not versing the market, so to speak, or it's not a battle against the market, it's a battle against your own ability to trade your plan. So
yes, absolutely, man. Yeah, on Bitcoin, definitely some I think interesting times coming up here in this market. You can't just keep tightening like it is. Even back on that daily, you see the fractals tightening up, the higher and the low fractals tightening up. What I would consider, no trade range. Mm-hmm. It's just tightening. So, yeah, something's got to break here sooner or later.
Mm. Yeah, the 4 hours. It's been a tricky old beast. Some of the DeFi coins have been a lot easier to play with a bit more volume and stuff, but yeah, it's just been super choppy. Ichimoku hasn't been anyone's friend on this. I don't even want to attempt to talk about Ichimoku on this chart. I think it's a lot more prettier and usable on the Ethereum 4 hour. But yeah, check that out. Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't remember it looking like this. Man.
Goes to show, like, you know, once you start getting into these ranging markets that, you know, Ichimoku, you know, we definitely need to be looking more at, you know, support and resistance levels rather than just purely any sort of Ichimoku. It's fine on a trending market, isn't it? But once we start going sideways, it can really struggle to really help you out.
Yeah, I sort of see these, I don't know, inverted head and shoulder looking things coming in on different coins. I know they're more clearer in Matic and Ethereum, I think. But yeah, I don't really know you'd call that inverted head and shoulders, but there's definitely like this neckline. If we can close above 36, 37, you would anticipate some further movement up. But yeah, I don't think I'll dig too much into the 4 hour on Bitcoin. Yeah, man, maybe Ethereum, huh? We'll have a gander.
Yeah, let's have a look. It's it's looking pretty promising here in the short term at the moment. Seems to want to go up at the moment, which is nice. Oh yeah, I didn't have that up, I don't think, on my daily, the 100-day moving average.
Yeah, it's been pretty interesting coming down to this fractal on Ethereum. Like, there's been so much business that's taken place in this fractal. We had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like 10 days, and then we're sort of back testing it as well. And we're breaking bull fractals. But yeah, it seems like perhaps there was accumulation in this fractal area, and we're breaking out higher.
So we're breaking one bull fractal, and we're looking to break a second potentially today.
Yeah, it's intraday, isn't it? So
without making a bear fractal.
Yeah, so we've broken this one, we closed back, and then we've got a key June bounce. We didn't quite inside bar yesterday, but probably, volume's still fairly low. I know with this sort of volume, it can sort of grind upwards until there's more consistent higher volume, I guess you could say. RSI is trending up fairly nicely. That looks decent. It's a high in RSI from 50. We're well over 50 at the moment. What's that, 54? Yeah, Ethereum's interesting because there's still a massive payday, the 61.8, like available, depending on...
just something that I noticed this morning, mate, that maybe you want to bring up. I know that it's not something that you like to do too much, but I think maybe with Ethereum and Bitcoin it can be quite handy, is the Ethereum Bitcoin pair.
Yeah.
It's actually Kumo breaking out today, potentially, on the daily.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'll definitely pivot over to that. I might just quickly jump over to the weekly, because we did cover the weekly on Bitcoin before. We'll have a quick gander there. I think you did mention, perhaps last video, this fractal area here, and look at that for a bouncer. Yeah. It's almost there's these two fractal areas. So, yeah, man, you always have to be pretty flexible and being a trader and sort of look at that and you're like, oh, wow, check that out. We're under the key June and stuff, but that's somewhat of an engulfing bar. It isn't quite, but it sort of is from just a candle body perspective.
Yeah, man, it's one of those areas now where, like, you know, if Ethereum is to like continue on a decent bull run over the next 6 months or so, you would look back at that and go, how obvious is that, you know?
Mm.
So yeah, it's definitely something to be aware of for sure. Pretty bullish on the weekly.
Yeah, man. Like,
obviously above that key June, but yeah.
Yeah. From a weekly, like, it's a good level to buy once you've had a 4,300 top. Depending on your time preference, if you're a long-term investor or trader or whatever. But yeah, that's looking fairly good. And yeah, the return on a 61.8 test now on the daily is it's pretty attractive. Like that's 3,300. Like that's a
it's around a Kumo break. It's even higher. Yeah,
that's a sizable move. Like even if you were to participate at these levels, like what are we looking at here? That's a really great move. Or even to the top of CQ span B, even though it's collapsing. But let's just use that flat area. If we had an impulse up, that's 27% to the 50% retracement, 40% to 61.8. Yeah, man. It's
okay. That's I'm glad you brought that weekly chart in there. That was good. Maybe just bring up the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. The Kumo hasn't flipped yet, but it's at an interesting area. The Bitcoin Ethereum. I find it very interesting level. If it is to continue appreciating to Bitcoin, it could be at a decent level here now.
Oh wow! Yeah, right. I remember playing this.
Chico's above, but we haven't got the Kumo flip yet, so.
Yeah, Kumo flip, we still need to wait for the green, as Rick just said. And yeah, it's pretty interesting. For a move, we've sort of found support at this. Well, we have traded under there, but the CQ span B and now turning back up. And yeah, Chiku span's very close to being above price here, isn't it? Where is it? It's hidden in there. It's just here. It is above price, so yeah, that's definitely going to be something to watch, isn't it?
Yeah, very good. What else on Ethereum? I think
I'll just throw on a fib on that just quickly. So yeah, we're already at the 50% retracement. We've had a TK cross. Yeah, a few more weeks will be interesting to see how that's going to look from an Ichimoku standpoint. I'll definitely put that into the watch list.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I was just going to quickly go over the 4 hour and stuff as well because it's a bit cleaner on Ethereum. So yeah, that's sort of more inverted head and shoulders looking, sort of shoulder, head, other shoulder. We broke the neckline here, came back, and we've back tested it. And we got a pretty clear Kijun bounce here too, didn't we? Above the cloud.
Yeah. It tried to, and then it actually closed back under for a second time quite quickly. And then we got that bounce. We got a decent piercing pattern there, didn't we? And then it wasn't such a polite candle after that. But yeah.
Yeah, it's been really slow, I think. I don't know if it has or hasn't been. I know being a trader, you can it's a patience game, right? But I've felt like Ethereum's been very slow in price action, but it's grinding up, and it's been a bigger bounce of Ethereum lows than Bitcoin.
Yeah,
and you can see that strength in that bullish TK cross on the daily. So yeah, it's interesting. RSI, there's a hint of divergence, but I suppose if we can break this bull fractal quite convincingly, we could definitely have more volume coming in, and we could have higher prices and stuff. So yeah,
very good. Ethereum's looking pretty strong for at least the short term for now. I think it's safe to say. What's just quickly go back to the daily on Ethereum and just see where maybe potential levels of resistance are there, mate. You probably already did that. You've got the fib up there, 50. Yeah, okay.
The 100-day moving average may be resistive. I suppose on the way back up, it's sort of hard to know. But yeah, 38.2. That's a bear market rally of sorts. Like, that should provide resistance at 27.40. If we throw on VWAPs and stuff as well, that might be interesting to see where they line up. They're sitting right at the 31.8 here too. They could quite be resistive. Though, yeah, I suppose it's just grinding and stuff at the moment until there's more direction, hey?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I guess depending on the sort of trader you are, isn't it, as to what you're sort of doing and how you're going about things for now, for sure.
Yeah, and how you manage your risk and that. But, yeah, from our system and stuff, there's no banging the table like trade setups bullish. So, yeah, it's just patient and pull off the odd scalp. Where should we go to next, mate? Maybe Matic?
Well, just quickly again there, I can't remember if we mentioned how, CQ Span B is coming down on that as well. So, I think I have drawn it up here on Ethereum. It's around 2640. CQ Span B's come down to 2640. So, that, for anyone that's listening, that means that, our potential sort of for a really strong buy signal is coming down lower. So, if we went sideways here or we even tested CQ Span B from now up until that point, that could end up being like a Kumo breakout level down the track, which, it's pretty exciting that, to see some, potential areas where we could get some really strong buy signals down that low. It's pretty exciting to see. It may not happen, but something I like to point out that could be in our future.
Yeah, man, and that's it just goes to show CQ Span B being at 2640, it's only 25 days away too, and resolution could be coming a lot sooner and a high probability trade, which is definitely exciting. It'd be pretty exciting to see the market turn around from here. It's obviously still neutral to bearish outlook really, but yeah, man, that's cool. If we kept on making lower lows and you saw that angulation on CQ Span B, it's more bearish. But because we've hung in here and we're ranging, it's shaping up to flip, a potential flip here when the yellow crosses the white. Then we get this green Kumo or cloud. So yeah, man.
Very good.
The bulls may be waking up.
Time will only tell. What did you want to look at? What else did you want to look at today? We got some. I think ADA is looking decent.
We might as well.
Decent enough, It really just depends where Bitcoin wants to go from here. But I'm seeing some decent potential here on ADA.
Yeah, so I'll quickly do the whole fib thing again. Maybe I'll use a different ticker because I'm just on perpetual contracts. I think who's got some pretty good data? Bitfinex probably has. I'll do it for now. So yeah, where are we sitting? So that's got 8 cents. So yeah, we're sitting.
You're right. Keep doing the fib. I'll bring something up in a sec.
Yeah, we're sitting at 50% retracement on the on ADA. Ichimoku on the weekly. I think I need to use Binance actually, don't I? Yeah.
This is what I was going to mention here with Ichimoku. It's actually a Kijun bounce on the weekly.
Oh right.
Nice.
Holy moly! Yeah, there you go. Holy smokes! Check that out. And we're back testing these. There's 3 fractal areas here too, and there's some business happening down here, isn't there? I don't know if institutions or money changers or whoever the players are, it's sort of like they've backed this up, perhaps.
I don't take a lot into account with the news. I try not to trade news and things like this, but there was something that came out about Grayscale being ADA now being their 3rd highest. Sorry, I got an alarm here. Stop. Saying that the ADA is now their 3rd largest holding. Take that for a pinch of salt, but it's who knows.
Yeah, I suppose teaspoon of fundamental analysis doesn't hurt. as long as it doesn't take you away from your trading plan. But yeah, that's definitely worth noting. I think you did mention that to me the other day. So yeah, institutions buying at $1.43. It's an interesting story, like ADA. I don't know where it is in the grand scheme of things, really, but the price action is looking somewhat healthy. Besides, yeah, the 38 point, like all markets have lost the 38.2, I think, except for Celsius Network. But yeah, that's definitely worth noting. Look at that. It'd be interesting to see that it resolve this area and move back up. 61.8. $1.90. So there's money to be made. There's money to be made on this this chart. So I'll put the 100-day moving average on as well. It's sort of interesting that we've had a TK cross. It's similar. It is a similar chart to Ethereum in a way. We've got the angulation down on Sigispan B.
Yeah.
Still
breaking book, which is always handy.
Oh, yeah, right. Let me zoom in on that. So, ooh, look at that. So we've broken this bull fractal. And it's just, we're creating higher bear fractals and stuff as well. There's this triangle pattern, not that I trade a triangle pattern, but it's grinding up, and there are some targets on the screen, like obviously 61.8 and top of Sigispan B is tracking with the 50% retracement. Is that an inside bar today as well? I believe it is. It's worth noting.
Yeah,
inside bar here. So and that previous bear fractal level, a lot of business. So yeah, man.
Interesting times with ADR. I think it's way too early to obviously call any of these like breaking out and stuff.
It is. You're right.
It's looking up for at least the next few days, I think. But we'll see. It's really hard to call too much at the moment, mate.
Yeah, I'm still neutral. I'm still sitting sitting outside the market. Really, I did have some good trades on Synex that I'm taking profit on. But the 4 hours is somewhat similar to Ethereum, like I just mentioned. There's sort of this head and shoulders looking thing, sort of broken above this neckline, and we're back testing it. 4 hours, low volume, sort of basing off this previous bull fractal there, just using horizontal support resistance. So that's it's going to be interesting. More if we can break more of these bull fractals, we'll probably have more volume and stuff come in, and maybe we'll get oversold in RSI and have another move up. Dun dun dun. Alrighty, what's next?
Very good. Good question. What are you thinking? Maybe did you want to just go over your Synex trade? Executed that quite well. Maybe it's not a bad idea just to show that trade and how you went about it, mate.
Yeah, let's do that. Alrighty, so
like what got you interested in it and stuff like that. Just from, I think that's a good one.
Yeah, I was pretty cryptic on it. Like I suppose in my other videos and that, I wasn't banging the table, so to speak, because I don't want to be, encouraging people to. It's not financial advice. I don't want people to be buying off my opinion or analysis, though. So I suppose I can run through.
Yeah, I think it's just like at the end of the day, like sometimes you can see value, and a reason to put some risk on the table, regardless of, I guess, regardless of like whether you think it's going to go to the moon, you know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily have to be something that's going to go to the moon to make money,
Yeah, I suppose in a sense as well, like the Ichimoku system is the bread and butter of what we trade, and there's nothing on that system that's saying that this is like a great level to buy. But you can play scalps up to the Kijun, and there's definitely money to be made. But the biggest pressing thing on this one is that, as I mentioned in prior videos, that 88.6 got tested. And that's usually it's always a robust level to, I think, to participate, buy a bit of spot and have a tight stop. Like when you're buying down at these levels, it's a pretty cheap stop loss. You know what I mean? So that's one reason is the bigger fib measure, and then. Right.
There's also a fractal there as well that I think I might have mentioned one other time.
That's why I've reversed it up to this level. This was actually, I deleted it off. I'll just put it back on.
Weekly.
Is 130, excuse me just a sec. Sorry. Yeah, 132 days from this high on the 4th of February at this level. And if you drill in down here, this is almost like a 61.8. It's not almost a 61.8. I'm pretty sure it was a 61.8. Retracement of this move here. Where are we?
Yeah.
Well, it'll turn into be when I drill down to lower time frames. I'll delete that off for now until I go to the 4 hour. Though, yeah, like you just said, there's this fractal area. And because I know that fractal is at 88.6, I'm just like, man, I think that should hold. And I was entering into this down at these levels. And my anticipation was the Kijun at that time was 64% away. And what level is that? That's it's like $9.80. So it's a 64% move around that area. So anyway, as time went on, we did move up to the Kijun. I'll move to the 4 hour chart because it shows up a lot better for me. Put on a complete fib retracement. Oops. So yeah, on the 4 hour, we made this move up, and then there's this consolidation. So it was like an 88.6 and an 88.6, and then we resolved bullish, and then from this range up here too, we had this 50% retracement. So yeah, I got in a lot at $5.80 level, and then up to $6.50. I think was the highest I got in at, and I got around 4,500, 5,000 Synex there, and I played a long trade on Binance derivative market too, and yeah, it worked out quite well. I don't remember that I was drilling down at these levels. I think I may have had another buy at that fractal as well, but yeah, it's been quite a move. If I take off that reverse.
Yeah, very good. And how did you go about like scaling out and like taking profit and stuff?
So on the daily, I I took a bit of profit around this $8 level once we started breaking this fractal here, because that move there was a lot of volume coming in, so I was anticipating a rejection at the key June, and I sort of wanted to sell into that. So this is from my leverage US dollar, US like DT tether derivative market on Binance. So I sold a bit in above this level at $7.49, and I was expecting resistance at this key June, but then I was looking at the volume, and when I saw the volume coming in here, you can see. I'm pretty sure this is Coinbase. Coinbase, yeah, it's Coinbase. I saw this volume coming in here, and that gave me a lot of pause, because when I saw that volume, I think it had eclipsed like 40 bars worth of volume. So
yeah, wow.
So I saw that volume coming in, and I sort of thought to myself, I was like, I think that might go through the key June. So I actually done quite well into holding onto that trade. I sold a lot at $9, and then yesterday I'll drill down to the 4 hour. I was just watching this like divergence come in here. So yeah, RSI kept on making higher highs. Well, we're at 82, 83. And I actually drilled down to the 16 minute to really start timing my exit.
Yeah, I did see that. I did see the 16-minute divergence.
Yeah, so I think I scaled that at about half at this stage, and then I saw this divergence coming in, and the way that I play like these lower time frames, I could just see this divergence coming in here. So I sold out of my position at around $11.76, and then I got completely out of that long trade, and I actually scaled in. The chart's really busy. It's sort of hard. It's hard to commentate backwards when you've drawn all this stuff on. So I'll just quickly reverse it out and see if I can articulate it in a robust way. But yeah, I got out. I tried to play a short here, and that was my stop loss, and I got stopped out here. And then I saw this candle formation come in. There's an inside bar here that resolved bearish on the 16 minute. So at this stage, I was out, and I think I'm even still in it. I can show people. So I averaged entry in at $12.40 on the other side, and that's up.
So you went short, yeah.
That's up 1,100. That sort of, I got short here, and then I was scaling in. I think I had 3 scale ins, and I got in a bit higher too as time went on. So I'll just fast forward that up. We can see down here now there's sort of a bounce coming in on the 61.8. So that's probably time to start thinking about taking some profit off there. It looks like we might be finding support in these prior bull fractals, and from the RSI as well. We've sort of had a flush out. We haven't printed divergence to go back up, but it'd probably be worthwhile taking some of that profit off the table, especially when it's just like...
It's just a scalp.
It's a scalp, mate. And it's 17 hours of a scalp now. Like, I could continue holding on that for 60 hours and just lose all that money that's on the table from the market. So, that's what happened on my Synex trade. I don't know if I explained it that well, but...
It's good.
Yeah, man.
No, it's good. Because, it can be easy just to see something like Synex and just go, it's dying in the arse, or there's nothing to be seen there. But when you start drilling down into these fib areas and knowing where we are in a market, it's really important to see these opportunities. There's always opportunities to be found, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, man. And I think the biggest takeaway for me, I think my struggles being a trader sometimes is that you get in on such a level and then you start romanticizing it. You're just like, oh, I got in at $5, Cinex could go to 50, and I'll make all this money. And you just like you're projecting onto the market and stuff. But it's given market sentiment and stuff. Oh no, that could be a fantastic bottom, and we just charge to higher highs, right? That's always a possibility. But I'm not really buying into the story that much. I think we could easily find a lot more resistance at $13.30 here at the 38.2 retracement. And excuse me, just a second. There should be some resistance up here. We could easily come back down and test this key June area at $9.15 on the daily, and we really need to wait for a close above CQ span B on the Kumo for like high probability trend change, and to be participating in this long term. So that's a great trade.
That's the thing, man. Like you scalp it, you've just scalped it well, and you can, if you want to build more of a position size in it, you can wait for a higher probability down the track, and even use some of that money you made on that trade, and then it hasn't cost you anything for a really high probability trade in the future, potentially. I played it a little bit different. I traded outside that weekly fractal at $6. I got in, I think, probably a tiny bit higher, but it's good.
Yeah, man. I remember you saying on the chat you were mentioning it in that, and did you just buy a spot on that, or was that like a leverage trade?
I just bought spot. I didn't leverage trade it. I'm kind of I've used most of my portfolio for leverage trading in ADA currently.
Yep.
So I'm in a leverage trade on ADA from $1.30 something. So I haven't really been too active on the derivatives market the last couple of weeks. But I'm in quite a sizable long on ADA at the moment.
So your risk appetite's like in that trade for the moment.
Yeah, pretty much. I do have some available risk, but I'm just I'm pretty risk averse at the moment, and pretty capital protective, really. And a lot of my bandwidth's going into like trying to scale back in at spot at the moment. So it's man, and still trying to learn at the same time, so it's good. I think sometimes I can learn better too when I'm just observing. I think it's hard to really learn when you're really in amongst it and trying to trade every other day and stuff. Like, it can be difficult.
Yeah, man, I've definitely learned from the last correction down in 2018. It's important to patience is really important, and some days are easier than others, but you don't want to get caught into pushing the market around. Like, if you can sort of wait for the trades to come and capitalize on them and just wait for like the direction of the market, because I know in the past, just through my impatience, it can cost a lot of money when you just get into a ranging market. You just get chopped up and make stupid mistakes. So it's nice for such like an impulse down to just take the profit as it comes and just be patient, because another 45 days coming into August and stuff, we might resolve like bullish, and if you can keep that capital that you've put aside and stuff until then, we'll do really, really well at the end of the year if the market wants to turn around, right?
If that volume comes back in, if that volume wants to come back in later in the year or whenever it wants to, for sure, man. I don't know, like, I still do have that bias of, the bull market may not be over here, but, I have been able to trade in a way that's been against my bias, and I've been lucky enough to be in a position where, if I feel like I can get in low, I can get in low, mate. So that's good, man. It's good.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, Bitcoin or Ethereum lower prices would be welcomed at the same time, but if the markets want to go the other way, we'll be there to take advantage as well.
Absolutely. Were there any others you wanted to look at? How long have we been going here?
Sorry?
How long have we been going here?
Oh, maybe an hour-ish. I could look at some other things. Oh, yeah.
Actually, just Bitcoin with the Sun natal opposition.
Okay, I'll do that.
Maybe just show people. It's quite fascinating, that stuff. It's always nice to see a different indicator and stuff on what you're looking at with your planetary alignments and things like this.
Can you see my screen okay?
It's come up black on my end.
I'll try again. Optima. Start sharing. How you traveling? Are you seeing that screen?
No, it's still black. It's just gone black, man. I don't know why. It's just going completely black.
Yeah, right. How's about now? Anything?
Yeah, no, still just black, yeah.
Technical difficulties. Let me...
Yeah, so many different software programs and stuff to learn, isn't there, for all this stuff?
Yeah, man, there is. It's always challenging in that. Like, I'm still learning Optima. It's actually funny because that NASA NASA guy from Twitter, he's building out a lot of software that's actually on TradingView, and you don't have the headache of putting in, like, downloading data from CryptoWatch and stuff and this and that. But that's quite exciting. I'll have to go through that.
Stuff or planetary stuff?
Yeah, like he's building a lot of planetary scripts and stuff on TradingView. So I'm sharing screens again. Is it going to work?
Nah, it's still black, eh? It's just going black on you.
Yeah.
At least it might. Yeah, I'm just getting black screen.
Yeah, that's weird.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'll create another video on that now that you've reminded me. I'll do Sun conjunction, and I might touch on Jupiter retrograde and look at targets on that as well. I'll do another video today on that now that you've mentioned it. But yeah, maybe we'll wrap up here.
Yeah, sweet mate. Just go back to unshare screen or whatever, because it's still black, I think. I'm not sure what it would be recording. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, we'll leave it there. You're going to get down to the beach now?
I don't know if I'll go to the beach now. It's probably a bit cold. Probably a bit cold in now. It's getting a little bit colder at the moment, but I'll definitely get outside. So I've been on the computer most of the day, so...
Yeah, so it must be coming in 5 p.m. where you're at. It's 10 o'clock here. I went for a swim in the Baltic Sea the other day. Huh?
Stop.
Yeah, it was epic.
Epic. I'm so glad you did that.
Alrighty, mate. Huh?
Do you know what the water temperature is?
Oh, it feels like Mooloolaba in like July, I'd say. It's similar sort of temperature, I would imagine. But it's been pretty hot here. It's been pretty hot here for northerners. So, yeah.
Yeah, nice. Oh, that's good, man.
Alrighty, mate. Let's cut it off there. Let's do this again next week, maybe for the weekly candle close.
Yes.
Right, bud. Have a good day.
Yes. Make that happen. All right. Very good.
See you,
Cheers,
mate.
man.